I despise demonic energy. Why? Because anything that feeds on fear cannot stand my light. All praise to the Most High God. Love to the Mother. God bless you. I want to say first, this is for educational purposes only, but I really want you to listen to me. If people really knew what is not only in their homes, but in different environments, different locations, the frequencies that are there, and like what is really happening, they would be behaving much differently than how they are today. When I realized the amount of interference, the amount of parasitic negative entities that were in my home and had attached to people, including myself, I was like, I will not stop till I break any kind of attachment, any kind of hold, any kind of influence on myself, my children, my home, or my surrounding situations. Like, I was like, I must do everything, and I did. And so when people talk about like vampires, and like I said, there are literal vampires, but there are predominantly what we call energy vampires, and they are parasitic, multidimensional beings that have been here for a long time and who are master mimics, master deceivers. And y'all, like, our understanding of life as we know it is going to fundamentally change so much in the coming years, like near future. But we really do have to expand our perspective, because these beings aren't not just physical, although they inhabit physical form. They could be plasma, they could be straight energy, but they can still influence people. And animals and all different kinds of entities they influence. And so what that looks like, what parasitic feeding on your energy will look like, is you might feel confused, you might feel drained, you might be angry and rageful and not know why. You could have brain fog, you could have anxiety, you could feel compelled to drink a lot or do different substances, you could feel like you have no meaning here. You can feel like you always need to rush. There's like so many different things that will indicate to you that your energy is being drained, including actual physical sickness. Okay. And what is the intention of these parasitic beings? It's to keep you controlled and unaware of what is happening to you in this grid, in this suppression grid. And it is to keep you from remembering yourself, everything about yourself, your divinity, your spark. It's to keep you in a state of survival, distracted, numb, hopeless, so that you get to the point where you become very comfortable being uncomfortable. You become very comfortable having the minimum, just enough, but always having to worry, always have to being anxious, always being in a lack mindset, so that you are so much in that energy that you will never take time to really go from a life of reaction to a life of intention and creation, which is what God intended us to be. Not just reaction and response, but intention and creation and flow. So right now we are very linear, but we are supposed to be spiraled. We're supposed to be of light. And this is a free will universe, but these energy parasites that are here, again, hear me out, multidimensional, very ancient. Think pre-earth, earth. Think celestial battle, Orion belt, if you know what I'm talking about. They are here and they don't want to leave, even though they have been served the eviction notice and they are being sought out by celestial and cosmic forces at this time. But they're not going to go easy. And you have responsibility as well. Because even though this is a free will universe, these entities don't abide by that. They are in violation of universal cosmic law that has recently been refreshed. And they want to trick you into consent. It's all about your consent. They can't do anything without your consent, but they have found so many loopholes and so many ways to trick you into giving that consent. And so you have to intentionally choose to remove anything that you identify as possibly draining your energy, possibly taking you off your life path, possibly seeking to destiny swap with you. Yes, destiny swap with you, right? Because the way the universe works is the energy you give is the energy you get. And so when you operate on a lower frequency, you shouldn't be able to have all of these things come to you. But if you're destiny swapping with high frequency people and they consent to it because they don't know any better and because they allow you to keep either humans being influenced by them, humans possessed by them, or other entities, including AI, are around, different people, it allows them to get an advantage that they really shouldn't have. And it allows them to keep a footing here when their eviction notice has been served. So what I am saying to you is wake up. Like, seriously, wake up. This isn't a movie. This isn't a horror movie. This is the Great Awakening. And I am just one of many to say, you might have some parasites all up around you and in your space that you need to go get some bug repellent for. And I have so much content already on this page, and I'm gonna do a series. It's called Grid Work is the Fast Pass to Ascension. You hear me? Because organic ascension, it can be grilling, it can take a lot of time. But I'm doing a whole series right now for y'all on timeline jumping. That's another way. I'm like giving you tips on like how to successfully timeline jump. In that series about grid work being a fast pass, I am like giving y'all breadcrumbs. All the grid work I'm posting for you is for you to follow. Fast pass. And the more advanced I'm getting on the curriculum, the more fast it's gonna get in terms of how I'm gonna give you the cheat codes. It's not really cheating, but I'm giving you a fair advantage because these energy parasites, they don't play fair. They have all this static, all this trickery, all this false, deception, all these things that they've done, they've put on people to essentially take away people's choice, to mandate life paths, to mandate outcomes, to take away people's free will. And they've made this completely not fair for people to make an informed decision about whether they want to live a life based on synthetic intelligence or organic intuition. That's the choice for all of us right now. And like on the religious spectrum, you can say that this is between good and evil, dark and light. But that's what it comes down to, y'all. So what I really want you to do, again, what I want you to do today, I want you to identify where you might have some energy parasites, whether it's a person being influenced, right? Person deep in the matrix, suppression grid, totally complicit, totally compliant, or like actual entities that are like around you because they do interfere and through various mediums, right? Whether it's music, whether it's your tech, like it's so ridiculous how saturated this grid is with suppression. I want you to identify it, and I want you to choose not to host it any longer, like how I did. I'm begging you to make that decision. And I already kind of gave examples of like what to look at, like people who drain you, people who like to keep you stuck in cycles, people who want you to stay tied to the darkness with them, people who refuse to grow, people who refuse to live in truth, people who want and choose to live in illusions and will fight and die for the illusions that they have attached themselves to, people who cause drama, people who cause chaos, people who just really are disruptors, like not in a good way, to environments. Yeah, those are the signs. And so, how do you move once you do that, once you make that decision? Do not engage. Do not argue with them. Do not fight with them. Your peace becomes your shield. Your discernment on how to deal with them becomes your weapon. Absolutely, your joy becomes kryptonite for them. Your clarity becomes the biggest threat to them ever. Do you hear me? And when you set those boundaries, you are essentially setting the new guidelines for access to your energy. And the more you do that every day, the less control that they will have on you. And the more that you start pulling back your energy from situations or people or environments that are taking your joy and disrupting your peace and making you confused, delaying your progress, the less power they will have to control you. And so it doesn't have to happen overnight. Just commit and start doing something every day to decrease that influence and that leakage that's happening in your life. And eventually, once your alignment starts becoming stronger with the Most High God, they will not be able to stay near you. That is your best defense. Alignment with Source, with the universe, with your higher self. Their lower frequency will not be able to stay in the same field as your energy. So today, plug the leak. Decide to plug the leak of the energy vampires around you, whether they are in form or whether they're in people, places, things, situations that are influencing you. I hope that this is helpful, and I hope that it resonates with you. Shalane Tukai. Peace.